Hello, hello, happy Sunday, everybody. Say hello when you pop on. Knocking things over. Hello, hello. Say hello, my friends. How is it going? Hello, hello. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. Is that you, Denise? I see your little eyebally and a sweet Kelly cat. I see you. Hello, friends. Good morning, sweet Kelly cat. How are ya? Yep, I saw Denise. Who else? Sometimes I see those little dots, but it's hard to see that far. Say hello when you pop on. Hey there, Teresa. Yes. Yeah. How are ya?
Linda Baker's with us.
Linda. Hi, Linda. Hello, hello. Finally gonna do favorite things.
Elizabeth Giese is here.
Hey, Elizabeth. How are you? Thank you for sprinkling, friends. Hello.
Good morning, Kelly.
Kelly, 1 month from today. Well, yeah.
Sort of. Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, we come in on a Tuesday, but it is the 14th.
Okay. Today's the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
That's right, it is.
And just over a month, somebody will be married. Woohoo! So much fun. Y'all, it's early on the West Coast, so don't know if our West Coast friends will be here, but we will see. Van Dyke Brown Dana.
So damn excited, says Kelly. Hey, Liz Boyle.
Yay! Here he is. I got him.
Oh, it's where Liz is at 7 a.m. Okay.
I got him in the frame.
Good morning, Patricia.
I'm just going to do a bow with a rusty bell. But he got him in this frame.
Patricia, that was an absolutely amazing game. I watched the Georgia Tech game as well. Won in the last second of the game, and then Georgia takes it to overtime. It wasn't that amazing? And Robin's prediction that Tennessee would win turns out to be a bust.
They almost did, though. He's like, you're going against your home state? We're technically closer to Tennessee than we are.
No, we're in Georgia. We live in Georgia. Than we are to Athens, if that's what you're talking about. Yes, we're.
I would much rather go. Are they in Knoxville?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would much rather go over to Knoxville than to go to Athens. Just saying.
I get it.
Just saying.
I get it. Denise has been up since 4:30.
Girl.
Which is 7:30 hours our time. So.
Yep. Hello, hello. Well.
Almost counts in horseshoes. Only counts in horseshoes. That's right.
Listen, I've never told y'all this story, but horseshoes.
I think.
My brother was rough and tumble, man. One of my brothers.
Hi, Charlotte Nelson.
The one I was raised with. We're 14 months apart, and one time we were camping and we were playing horseshoes. Well, he kicked my horseshoe off the ringer thing, and I marched over there. Now, I had a coat on with one of them big hoods with the fur around it because it's cold, and I walked over there to put my horseshoe back, and he threw a horseshoe and hit me in the head, and through that cap, busted my head open. So blood is running down my face. And he runs back to the camper, and he tells my mom, he's like, I killed her. I killed Robin. And my mom is freaking out, of course. So she runs and gets me. And then we're like camping, not near a hospital. So she's got to get me to the hospital. And then I had to have a bunch of stitches. That's my horseshoe story. Every scar I have is from my brother.
So Susan says she loves your dress.
Thank you.
Teresa Cherry is a Tennessee fan.
I wear these dresses all the time. They're super light, and they're from Kohl's.
Dana wanted Tennessee to win as well. She hates Georgia.
Oh boy.
And Patricia is a Bama. She graduated from Bama back when the earth was still cooling.
Oh my goodness. We went to the Alabama campus when Lauren played softball, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Who's ready for the favorite things? I gave y'all a lot, but I'll explain. And I hope that I did post it on my page and in the link. Hopefully you can find it somewhere. But I created this list. And hopefully you can print this. And then, there's certain things that may not be your jam. For example, I'm not a big stencil paste person. I love stencils. But as far as paste, I just don't typically, I use paint more than paste.
Hello, Judy Moody.
But we have great stencil paste, but they're not on my favorites list. So if that's something you like, I can definitely, and we have a stencil paste bundle, but I typically just use embossing medium or something. So there may be things on my list that you're like, stencils are not my jam, or molds or whatever. And
Hi, Ruby Moss.
So the list is, long because I wanted to cover everything. But anyway, let's get started, and we'll start with paints. Of course, Paint Couture paints are my absolute favorite paint.
Happy Sunday, Carol Stinson.
And if you've ever used them, they are great paints. The pigment's great. So I just made a list of my favorite colors. So let's look at those. Let me pull this down a little bit. And I know that glare, that gives a glare on my glass mat. You know what I should have done? Hold on a minute, y'all. Hold on 1 second. I just want to not have a glare. I want you to see the paint, actually. 1 second. I can put a piece of paper down. And that'll get rid of the glare.
Charlotte said everything is her jam. That's the problem.
Yeah. I took a watercolor class yesterday, y'all. I'm not sure that's my jam.
Well, tell us about that watercolor class.
It was hard, but these ladies were talented. But I enjoyed the class, and I enjoyed the teacher. But yeah, it was hard. All right, let me put these in some semblance of an order, if that makes sense.
Semblance of an order, it does.
Semblance of an order.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of do blues, because I want you to see how close some of the colors are, and then you might choose to eliminate from there, right? Okay, so these are my favorite colors, and I'll tell you what they are. So up here, I really should have done it this way, but I'll cover the neutrals. So pitch black, you need a black and a white, period. I have Baltic black and I have pitch black. I like pitch black. It's a little bit deeper. So I like that. So pitch black is my favorite black. You always need a dark and kind of a light brown. And my two favorites are Espresso and Madagascar Mocha. I love these two colors. So the Espresso is a dark brown. The Madagascar Mocha is lighter. And then for the neutrals in the light section, of course, there's Simply White, which I really love. Simply White. And then there is Farmhouse Linen is a favorite.
Teresa Cherry's uncle is a watercolor artist.
Wow. You should send me a link to his work. I'd love to see it. Buttercream. Buttercream has just the slightest bit of yellow in it. So Buttercream. And then British Gray is my favorite gray. Now there's some darker gray colors. I don't typically use them a lot. I love the lighter gray. There's one even lighter than this called Charlotte Gray, and I do love it too, but I wasn't trying to give y'all 100 paints.
Every color would be your favorite at that point.
I know. And then and of course there's just one pink, so that's we have more than this. There's a brighter pink called Polynesian pink. Mm-hmm. There's a lighter pink called French Rose. But I love Vera at the Ballet. It's my favorite pink.
That was actually one of the first ones you ever bought.
I love it.
Vera at the Ballet.
And then these two. So this is Tuscan Sun. But there is a complementary lighter yellow called sunsets, sunrise. Anyway, there's a lighter one, and I love it too. Sunrise, Spanish sunrise.
Spanish sunrise, right.
But this Tuscan's beautiful. And then this is Firelight, which y'all know in the fall. I use this quite a bit, or on my rust.
So Stephanie Gray says she loves them all. Now, there's a question. So Liz asked, do you prefer chalk or mineral paint, and do you prefer one over the other?
I prefer mineral paint. Unless you're doing paint inlays, then there's chalk. But I personally prefer the mineral paint.
95% of the time you use mineral.
Yes. It has a built-in top coat. It's self-leveling. Paint Couture has a whole line of chalk paints, and they're great.
And we have some chalk paints.
Yes, we carry chalk paints, but I personally like the mineral.
Debbie Stancliffe says hello to everybody.
Hello. All right.
Stephanie Davis says good morning. So Georgia is waking up.
Yes. Yeah. So in the blues and greens family, I love autumn sage. There's a complementary color called basil. It's a little bit darker. They complement each other well. But if you ask me just to pick one, it's going to be autumn sage. There's more of a Christmassy one called opulence. And then there's another one called evergreen. They're beautiful. All are beautiful, but this one is my favorite, autumn sage. And then we have Moxie by the Sea. I love Moxie for so many things, including on my patinas. This is a great color for patinas, and it goes well with the Firelight together. They're great with rust. And the Tuscan with them is pretty for rust too. So you can see like rust and patina. And I do have a rust bundle, and those colors are in there. And then these two look so close. And one of them is Angel Eyes. This one is Angel Eyes. And then this one is Duck Egg. So you could actually, when you print your list, and you could say, I like it a little bit like darker blue. Like, it's not dark blue, obviously. We have some dark blues. Admiral Blue would be a favorite dark blue. But I tend to like the lighter blues, and then Duck Egg is great. So these two are my favorites. So those are my favorite paints.
Dana seconds your mineral over chalk because she thinks it takes less than chalk paint. But if you want something to dry like really quickly, and then you're going to add top coat to it, chalk would work just as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain projects that I will use some chalk, but I do like the mineral.
Like you said, paint inlays, chalk paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Luxe Metallics. So Luxe Metallics, again, I carry some Pent Art, and there's great Pent Art metallics, but I love the Luxe Metallics by Paint Couture. I love them. And I do have some bundles for these if you just wanted to try little 1-ounce sizes. It's a great way to do it.
So just like the Tennessee-Georgia rivalry, the Pent Art Paint Couture rivalry, you're picking the Paint Couture.
Well, and if I'm being honest,
let's do that. Let's be honest.
Paint Couture is a business that's based in the United States.
Hi, Carol McGill.
And it's a little bit cheaper because you don't have to pay tariffs and travel, like shipping from overseas. It's easier to get because sometimes Pen Art will be out forever and I can't get it. So then people fall in love with it, and then I'm like, well, it's out of stock. But Paint Couture, they mix. Michael and Katie own Paint Couture, and Michael mixes. He's the scientist of the whole operation, and Katie's awesome too. But Michael makes up stuff, and so they're never out. They're never out of stock.
Judy Moody loves the metallics.
Yes.
And go dogs, Carol Stinson.
So you'll notice there's no pinks in here or anything. They have some great pinks. They have an orange that complements the Firelight, which I love, Harvest Maple. They have Cherry Blossom, which complements Vera at the Ballet. They have some wonderful, luscious berry colors and red colors and all of that. So This is just my favorites. And I always gear towards the metal metallics. I really like them. And I'm not a huge silver person. So this is an antique gold and a bronze.
Raquel, we would love for you to try these metallics for sure. Raquel Blanchard said, I would love to try those metallics.
Yeah, if you go to Explanation Point Shop, which is where most of these products are, and go to the bundles section, there are some bundles with Lux. And I will say this, if you go on the Lux Metallics and I carry the 2 ounce in stock, you can make your own bundle. So these are beautiful. This is antique gold and bronze. And then this one, this is a newer one called Walnut. I fell in love with walnut. It is a great, rich brown metallic. It's really great in the fall. These two I use a lot together. They're great for leaves. And then if you throw in some of the walnut with them, it's beautiful. But this is Amazon and Lily Pad. They're great. There's no blues in here either. And they've got some great blues. They got Sea Maven, which is a great blue. They've got a sky blue, which is beautiful. Like, there's all kinds. This is just my color palette. And then, of course, there's Oyster Pearl. There is one called Black Pearl that is a black metallic. It's beautiful, too. But these are, if you ever watch me much, you'll know these are the ones that I typically pull a lot. And those are the Lux Metallics. And they're beautiful. All right, so there's that.
So if you were on a desert island,
yeah,
these are the things that you would just bring with you. If you said, okay, you can only take so much.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that would do it.
And if I could only pick one Lux Metallic, it would be the antique gold.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, so...
Debbie Stancliffe says, what size are your bundles, Robin? Jars? You mean, the bundles usually are 1 ounce bundles.
I could do you a 2 ounce bundle if you message me, but I mean... If you message me and say, hey, can you help me put together, I stock 2 ounce paints, 2 and 4 ounce paints, just because most of my customers do smalls. But I do have an affiliate. If you go Explanation Point, link me, and you go to all paint products, you can get these all the way up to a gallon. So I carry the 2 and 4 ounce, but you can get bigger sizes on my affiliate.
Judy Moody says she loves Oyster Pearl, but you brought up a great point in that you focus primarily on smalls.
Yes.
And that a lot of the people that watch you are focusing primarily on smalls. But if you want to do things like furniture pieces or bigger pieces that require more paint, that you do carry the 4 ounce, and then you can also get the different sizes by ordering through your affiliate link.
Yes, and it still supports me just the same.
Just the same, all the way up to the gallon sizes.
Yeah.
Which we have actually used, not a gallon,
quartz.
But we use quartz on
furniture.
our bathroom cabinets.
Yes, and if you got a big piece of furniture, it's much more logical to buy quartz.
And as someone said earlier, the paints, and we have talked about this before too. These paints go a long way.
They do.
A long way. Some of the ones that you use on the lives are some of the ones that you opened up originally.
Yeah, I actually did a demo of the 1 ounces when I started doing the bundles, and I painted an entire tray with a 1 ounce paint.
Yeah.
So, and the back. I painted the back of it too.
Front and the back, right?
Yes, with 1 ounce. So.
Good to know.
And I like the bundles because you can try them, and then if you find your favorites, you could buy the bigger size of your favorites. All right, so next is glazes, and of course there's pin art glazes, and there is paint couture glazes, and I do like the paint couture glazes the best, and I heard a rumor, because I've been begging Michael forever, that there may be a white glaze coming, which is making me happy. The paint couture glazes are more jelly, like gel. And the pit art says antiquing gel, but they're more pasty to me. These, to me, Paint Couture wipes back a little bit easier. These are beautiful. And I have these in brown and green and all the colors. And I use the white the most for pen art because Paint Couture doesn't have white. So I have that in here. And I think this is actually under paste, but it's the same thing. It's like antiquing gel. I just mixed my pen art with water and it works better for me. I don't like my glazes super, super thick. So this white one is kind of my go-to because Paint Couture doesn't have a white. So I use the pen art antiquing gel. But if they ever get a white, you got. I'm gonna go this direction. And y'all all know my favorite dang glaze. My one. You only give me a choice of one. I'm gonna tell you Van Dyke Brown every single time. I love Van Dyke Brown. And Van Dyke Brown is just a warm, and here's this Santa done in the Van Dyke Brown. I love him. But if you're doing a piece that's black and white, black and grays, you don't want to slap brown on there. It's not going to look right. So we have black chiffon is a close second, black chiffon. And then if you want a little metallic-y look in there, zinc is beautiful. It is like a dark silvery, it's a dark silvery. My mom loves to mix black chiffon and zinc together. And it makes the richest, most beautiful, almost like a pewter color frame. Beautiful. So these three would be my top three glazes.
Good morning, Brenda Reagan.
We have a champagne and we have all of that, but usually I use glaze to pop out things, so I like the darker glazes.
Good morning, Glenda.
So that's that.
And Debbie Stanklin says she bets the cabinets are beautiful.
Yes, they are. We painted them in basil.
Basil, which is not
one of my favorites.
Not one of the favorite colors.
But it just went with the bathroom.
Yeah, we took it into the bathroom and added some accessories and stuff to make it look nice.
All right, so let's talk about crackle. My favorite crackle is fine line. It's finicky. It's picky. It does not like. Part one is water-based. So you can use water-based things up until you do part two. Once you do part two, do not let water touch it. It will gum up on you. You'll ruin your project. So it's finicky in that way. Will you let him in?
I sure will. Is he trying to get in?
Yeah, just make sure you don't have a mouse.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite. Now, Paint Couture makes a crackle.
Come on.
That is a classic crackle, and I do love that. And then there's a transparent crackle. Hey, Meow Meow. What's that? Meow Meow's here. But the fine line is probably my favorite crackle. Glues. Let's talk about glues. So, come here, boy. My favorite glues, and all of them have a different function. Of course, we have decoupage varnishing glue. I like the matte. My sweet Kelly Cat loves the shiny one, but I like the matte. And this is my favorite medium, decoupage pen art, decoupage varnishing glue. Paint Couture has one. They have a classic and a shine. I like them just fine, but for some reason, I just tend to lean towards this one. But this is just for your papers, putting down your papers and things like that, napkins or whatever you might be adhering.
Patricia, I haven't forgotten about your question, but we're going to get to that in just a minute.
Oh, is it on a different?
It's on resin.
Oh, we're going to do resin for sure.
Yeah.
Heavy body gel in glossy. I love heavy body gel in glossy. There is a matte one. The matte one does not dry clear. But the matte one is great if you watch Kelly Cat, you'll see her do this, where she'll use them in fondant molds to make like lace and things like that. It's great for that. Or it's great for stenciling if you're using it as a stencil paste. You can even add a little pigment to it. But this Heavy Body Gel Glossy, I use it on all the heavier molds to adhere them because it's not coming up. So
Dana is really glad that you're doing this.
thank you. And then my favorite glue is this Express glue. And I love it because it's got a pointy tip on it. And I love this for like the wood kits and stuff to put them together. But if I'm putting a mold on, I'm going to go with the Heavy Body Gel Glossy. So these are my favorite glues. And let's see where I'm at.
Yes, I was checking Meow Meow's mouth. I promise you that. Yes.
Lord. Primers. Let's talk about primers for a minute. Okay. So Paint Couture has... Did he come in to go to the bathroom? Okay. Usually he won't use the litter box. Paint Couture has 2 primers. Premium 2-in-1. Premium Plus 2-in-1 primer. This is a bonding primer and a blocking primer. This is my favorite primer for furniture or wood, especially furniture that has tannins in it. If you've ever painted a piece of furniture a light color and then a month later you go back and it's bled through like these brown spots, that's the tannins coming out. You have to use this to prevent that. They have a white and a gray. You're going to use the white under lighter colors. You're going to use the gray under darker colors. So they have both of these. And these, again, I typically carry these only in the 8 ounce because you're probably going to do a piece of furniture. But if you need bigger, you can get it through my affiliate link on my link tree. The Pent Art Bonding Primer is my favorite for metal trays, bottles, anything slick. I just feel like I don't need the blocking. This is a little bit thinner. This is a little bit thicker. I just like the way this adheres. Any primer you use, you want to put it on and allow 24 hours for it to cure before you go back over it with paint. So you got to plan a little bit. But these are my favorite primers, these.
Good morning, Linda Nowakowski, and Debbie Stancliffe is also glad you're doing this. And Pamela McDonald is with us now.
Yay. And I, again, those of you just joining us, I posted my list of favorite things on my page. So you'll be able to just print it off. And I put links. Most everything's in my store, except for one of the resins, some of the molds. But most everything's in my store. And then I probably should add my affiliate link if you want bigger colors on there. All right, so we've done top coat textures. Okay, textures. All right, so my favorite textures also Paint Couture. Pent Art has a modeling paste that's great. But I love this embossing medium. It dries faster. It's lighter, where the modeling paste is thicker and stickier, which is fine. But this is lighter. It's almost like buttercream frosting or something. And I love it. So embossing medium, I'll use this through stencils and things like that. I love it. People say embossing, they think of embossing where you heat it and it gets shiny. But this is it's more of a like a spackle kind of thing. And you can add texture and all with it too, with a palette knife. And then crust. Crust is a gritty, I use it a lot on rust, rust effect and stuff, but the crust is a grittier texture. So it's great for rust. And those are my 2 favorite textures.
Hi, Lori Pylant.
Wax.
Thank you, Linda Baker.
Oh, I didn't get the silver one. Oh. My favorite wax paste, my number 1 favorite is going to be gold. I love the gold wax paste. And I forgot to get the silver, but there's a silver one. And then there's a sparkling silver. I love the gold and the silver. The silver I tend to use a lot at the holidays. And then the sparkling silver, I like it on like snowflakes or anything that you want to add a little bit of shine to. But gold, silver, and sparkling silver are my favorites. Wax paste. All right. Don't worry about it, babe.
Might be that we're out of it.
We're not. There's 3 of them to the left.
I got you. Okay.
Antique paste. Okay. Did I do? Okay, antique paste. I have this one in with the antique paste, but we already talked about the antiquing gel. But my 2 favorite antique pastes are the Umbra and the white. I don't know if you saw Shannon at Pickin' Boots, and I have posted that a video from her, and she was talking about the difference between the antique paste and the waxes, and she explained it perfectly. The antique paste is for the valleys, so like just like the Paint Couture glazes, it's for the valleys, for the crevices down in there. So you put that on, and it's for the valleys. And then the wax paste is for the peaks. So when you do wax paste, you're putting it on the top for the peaks. So that's the difference. And this is what you would use for, they have a gold one that's pretty too. This is what you would use with your fine line. These would be, or you could use pigment powder or something like that. Do not use this one with, or any of these, the gels or the Paint Couture glazes with fine line. They're water-based. These are solvent-based. And these are solvent-based. But I wouldn't use these because you want the cracks, right? You want the valleys. So you would use antique paste. So the umber and the white are my favorite. I especially like the white if I want to do over faces or something. But it looks really good.
Now, I've seen you do use different ones on the same piece.
Yes.
To get different, bring different things out.
Like if I'm doing I don't have one here, but if I'm doing a face, like if I'm doing a piece, I'll show you this one. If I'm doing a piece like her, and I do all the umber around her, but then I liked her face to crackle like that. But if I didn't want it so noticeable, I could have used white on her face and her body here, and then use the umbra all around her. But I liked her face crackled. So, and then you'll see I use umber on this one right here. So you can see the crackle. See that crackle in there? That's that umber antiquing paste on this. Okay, so let's see. Wax paste, antique paste, pigments. Let's talk about pigments. Whoops. So my favorite pigments, these are, now Paint Couture has a whole line of pigments. I've carried them in the past. I just have a limited stock closet, but they have every color you can imagine in powder pigments. So I definitely encourage you, if you want colored pigments, to use my affiliate link, and they have a ton. But again, I typically lean towards the metal metallics. So I love the gold and I love the champagne. The champagne is sort of like a gold silver mix. I don't typically use the silver a lot. It's beautiful, but I don't typically use it a lot. Whether you're using all the pigments like these or the Paint Couture pigments, you're going to want either the pigment fix or the pigment medium. And sometimes the pigment fix is out of stock and it takes weeks to get it. And like if you're working on Christmas, you might not have weeks, you know. So I just want you to know the pigment medium by Paint Couture is the same. But I'll show y'all. These are Paint Couture. Like if you wanted neon, like you could get neon. You could do greens and pinks. They come like this. They're called Perfect Pigments. And if you do exclamation point, link me, blues, I mean, you can get all kinds of colors. And go down to my all paint products. And you could, I mean, every color under the rainbow they have. So they have a great one called Silver Lace. So those are, but these are my favorites that I go to. But I do like the blues and the, you know, like, I play around with those. I don't use them a lot. All right, so we got pigments. Okay, we're going to talk about stencils. I just wanted to give y'all, because I know it can be overwhelming. So I wanted to talk about stencils and molds. Okay, stencils. I love stencils. So my absolute favorite like background stencil is Spring Damask. I love this stencil. I use this like crazy.
You do.
So this is great for mixed media or in a background. You can do it light. You can do it dark. Like, it's beautiful. You can use embossing medium over it, make it raised. I also love the multi-harlequin stencil. This is great, especially right now with October and the fall, and even using the bigger one in a background. Like, you could use that bigger one. Like, if I didn't have a paper that I liked, I could paint like green, and then I could do red, this red harlequin in the background, and then I could even do little gold dots or whatever and make it super Christmassy.
You've done that before.
Yeah. So this is a great stencil. This brick wall stencil, I love this also because this adds great texture. When the Andy Skinner papers came out, this is very popular to do behind the angels, or if you're doing a Tuscan theme, or even a background for fall. I mean, how pretty is this? And then to put some pumpkins.
Didn't we do a Pink Floyd?
We did.
We did a Pink
brick
Floyd
wall.
brick wall thing.
With this.
Yeah, sure did.
I love brick wall. And then I just for like borders and stuff, these are all Mara stencils, and they're my favorite borders. So there's this one called French Quarter, and I love this part of it. I use this the most. This is French Quarter. And then these are two of her new ones, which I'm very happy about. This one is Bohemian Borders, and I love every single one of these. I think they add, and you don't even have to use the whole thing. Like, you can just border your, like, you border your frame with it and stuff. I love this one. I haven't got to play with this one yet, but I love this one. It's my new favorite.
One of my few lives. That's right, Linda. It was the Pink Floyd thing. Yeah, for sure.
And this one is called, this is new too, but it's...
Swedish Creation says hello. She loves that border. Yeah.
There. This one's called Mini Borders, and I love this right here. And then I think these are great to use with stencil paste, or just, you know, like on tags. Like, they're the perfect size for tags or ornaments or things like that. Like, all of these toppers are great. And then you've got the longer one. But this is a great, like, if you're just starting out and you need a stencil, I would recommend these two to start. This is Spring Damask, and then Mini Borders. Those would be kind of the two that, you know, would get you far.
Hello, Karen Atterbury, and happy Sunday to you.
All right.
Yeah, we do get a little rock and roll every once in a while.
And then molds. I put y'all some tips on this form about molds, because I know if you're like me, I got 100 and something of them over there. But if you're just starting out crafting, don't get overwhelmed with molds. And while I love this Santa mold, this is Santa. I can't do anything else with him but Santa. I can make him a lumberjack. I could, you know, whatever. But it's still
a face.
A
it's
face,
a face.
Right? So if I was just starting out, unless I absolutely just loved him, this would not be like, and I can only get one mold, this wouldn't be it. It would be a borders mold. So I have one in my shop called Chic Borders. My other favorite borders molds are IOD, which is Victoria Old to Ooh La La is where I get mine. And they have tons of borders molds. So you just need to go on there and figure out which one you like and get that one. This borders mold I love because it's got this leaf pattern here. So that works a lot for a lot of different projects. Then it's got this scrolly pattern here. Then it's got a steampunky kind of pattern here. This one's probably my favorite one, and I'll show you the back. But this is a great border for a lot of things. And then these two I love. One is a rope and one is dots. I love a dot stencil. I mean a dot mold. Can y'all see that? That's that dot mold.
Now, Brenda Reagan suggested that you put your list in every order.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Especially hers. But she really doesn't care about anybody else.
I can do that. I can print it off.
She doesn't care about anybody else.
Here they are, y'all. So see how pretty these are? And so this is going to give you can cover, all kinds of different project types with this mold. So this is a great borders mold. Now, once you have your borders mold, let's say you could get 2 mold, or you have this and you're ready for your next mold. You're going to want a mold that has elements on it.
Hi, Lucille Skilton.
Kind of like our elements on our stencil. You're going to want to pick you one. And I put you some suggestions. The new Victoriana mold is great. It has a bunch of little things on it that you could use. And then the olive crest is great. The dainty flourishes, I spelled it wrong on my list, but is great. And classic elements.
We all know you care about everybody, Brenda. We sure do.
So those are molds that I would go for. So now let's talk about resin.
Yes, and Patricia had a question about that a while back.
Okay.
But
Patricia, ask again.
I'm just going to suggest that when you well, her question was, and I'll tell you, do you ever use pouring glaze instead of resin?
Okay. I like pouring glaze because you don't have to mix it. It's water based. I like it on thin things. Like if I made an ornament, like a little round ornament that, has like a border or a, let me show you.
And you weren't going to get that thing, you weren't going to set like a glass or something on top of it.
No, here, I'll show you.
Yes.
So like, if I made a little ornament like this, I like pouring glaze for these. It's easy. I don't have to mix it. It's not going to give you the high gloss look that clear epoxy resin will, but it's water based. It's probably got less chemicals, I think, than
well, we don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I'm not the scientist, but it's great for stuff like this. Like, absolutely great. I love it for, like, I will grab it because it's easy and I will use it on thinner stuff. Don't do a deep pour with it. It will crack on you. If you try to use it like, hand me that right there.
Yes. Now, Dana's brought up the fact that Victoriana mold is now less priced.
Oh, yes. Victoria has it the lowest she can sell it.
And use your link.
And she had a glitch, y'all, with her system, and she's not feeling well with the free printable. So she had to take that down until she can fix it. And when she feels better, I'm going to help her. But she's not feeling well. Okay, like on this piece right here, I would not use pouring glaze on this piece.
No.
Would not. It's going to crack. It's not going to look right. Now, Teresa Renee did it. She did a live and she used pouring glaze on this exact piece because this is, I copied her. Mm-hmm. This is exactly what she did and it looked great.
Now, Debbie Stancliffe said, oh, yes, it will crack the pouring glaze.
Yes. Yes, it's great for littles. It's great for small things. It's good for that.
And
but
Sweetie's Creations needs to try that pouring glaze.
yeah, it's great for things like that. But I tell people, if you're gonna do a tray, like if you're gonna do this whole tray, and people do it. I think Terry Lightsey's done it before. Definitely Teresa Renee's done it.
Mm-hmm.
They've used the pouring glaze. I personally have not had luck with it on big pieces.
Yeah.
And I like the hardness. Like this tray, I mean, I'm going to abuse it. So I like the epoxy resin.
Now, Linda said she loves that piece right there with the glass that you put in.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. You love that, Linda?
She still loves it. She loved it from the very beginning.
Oh, thank you. I have a whole series of these papers, and I really want to do the other ones. I just need to get them out and do them.
Do you paint the pouring glaze or do you pour the pouring glaze?
Either.
Yes.
Either. You could do either. All right, so let's talk about resins. I carry in my shop black and white casting resin.
There's a difference.
This is the quick cast resin. You mix equal parts of step 1 and step 2, as they call it. Mm-hmm. Equal parts. This is the hardener. The darker one is usually this is the hardener. Mm-hmm. Step 2 is the hardener. Mm-hmm. So your step 2 is the hardener. Probably you heard a while back on the IOD tribe page, people were complaining and saying, oh, the molds are defective. My mold was ruined because it pulled the silicone up. What happens if you do too much of step 2? You could damage your mold. So you want to get equal parts of both. Now, I know Rima showed, and I think Ellen J. Goods showed, where they did more step 1 than step 2. And their mold stayed flexible. And I've done that. I don't know. I'd rather just use clay than do that.
So let's talk about that for just a second. The flexibility part of that.
Yeah.
What you've done in the past is to pull your piece
mold out
early.
Yes.
Before it hardens completely.
Yes.
Form it to the shape that you were trying to form it to.
Yeah.
And then let it dry
formed
completely dry in that form.
Yeah.
And then you've already got it done.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to.
I tape it on there.
You tape it on there, right?
Yeah, I do that. So I'll pour it and then I'll pull it out and it'll be super flexible and I'll wrap it around whatever I'm wrapping it and I'll tape it down. Now we'll say let's say that I wanted to do a thick mold like Santa.
Okay.
Santa is a very thick mold. So if I did Santa, by the time he fully cures, because he's so thick, and I pull him out, he's going to be pretty hard. And then if I tape him to, say, a round wine bottle, let's use a wine bottle, where he's going to have to curve a good bit, around that bottle, I'm going to tape him, but it's not going to be like the seamless look of clay.
Right.
Right? So what I've had to do before when I've done a thicker mold and I've tried to tape it on there when I use resin, and then I use my heavy body gel and put it on and tape it and let it dry, I have a gap. Mm-hmm. And then what I do is I take that crust, that paint couture crust, and I pounce that and fill in my gap. Mm-hmm. So then it looks like it's part of the bottle, but it's extra work. I should have just used clay.
And you brought up a good point, though. With clay, though, aren't you going to get some cracks once it starts to dry?
So clay gets a bad rap. I use Jovi clay. I love it.
Charlotte, just painter's tape, just regular blue painter's tape.
I also, just this stuff right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just conform it on there.
You can use frog tape. You can use
whatever.
Yeah.
The yellow one.
But just the painter's tape.
But what was I saying?
The bad rap for clay.
Yeah. Clay does not like you to force it dry. If you try to dry it with your heat tool to speed up the drying and all of that, it's going to crack. If you put it in the sun to try to speed the drying, it's going to crack. Let it dry by itself. So clay's not, you'll never see us do clay much on a live or in a class. I had a group of ladies come here and they wanted to do a project that I needed the molds to be flexible. And I didn't want to pour a bunch of resin that day with them here. So I used FormFlex. And that way I could pre-make their molds. You can also, if you use clay, you can put it in the freezer. But it's still going to be, it's not going to be hard enough to like glaze and manipulate without getting rid of your detail. But back to resin. So resin, black and white. I literally mix equal parts. I stir for about 30 seconds and I pour it in my mold. Now I'm going to tell you this, and where's my resin cup? I probably don't have it over here.
The little white resin cup.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah. I cleaned it out yesterday, I think.
So
no, you used it.
I bought this on Amazon, and here's my lines because I can't see them dang lines on there. I tell people all the time, unless you're doing a big mold like Santa, do not mix a lot of resin at one time. Like 20 of each, 20 milliliters of each, which is like, this is 20 and this is 40. Stir for 30 seconds and pour. If you're doing a mold, like if you're doing this, do 20 of each, so 40 max, and then pour, or less if you know how much it takes, pour. Even if you have to do a couple of mixes to get all the ones you want, because what happens is people get it and then they pour a big old batch of it and they've got all these molds laid out to pour. And before they can pour them, and it happens to me because I get all ambitious, before they can pour, it hardens in their cup. And then I just threw a chunk away yesterday.
Charlotte said, I learned that lesson. Haha.
Yes, I think we've all learned that. Just, if you're doing smaller molds, my personal tip is don't do more than 40 total, 20-20. If you're doing some larger molds, Santa, you could definitely, whatever he takes, you can mix it because you're just dumping it in there. You're not trying to get in any little details. The more the detail, the less you want to mix at one time. Like if it's like the LeBlanc mold, sometimes they require a pipette, and you're going to mix it, and then you're going to be sucking stuff up in a pipette to try to get those little areas.
And that's tough.
I always get those first. Like the little areas, I get them first, and then I pour into my big areas. The LeBlanc can be challenging if you're not experienced in doing resin. But yeah, if you're doing a mold that has some bigger elements to it, like the bib, what do they call it? Biblets or bib. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Those ornament molds. If you're doing the ornament molds from IOD, then go ahead and pour 40 and 40 up to 80. Okay. But that's like my limit. And this is why I only have these marks. And this is my favorite cup, is that 80
Build it. Yeah.
Yeah. 80 is going to probably get me 2 to 3 of those ornaments, but I'm just pouring a bigger mold. So I'm good. But if I'm pouring some biblets, whatever, and some trim, I can mix a larger amount, and I'm going to do my trim first, and then I'm going to dump into the bigger one because it'll start setting it up. And I will say this, the black will set up on you faster than the white.
Yes.
You have less time with this black, I don't know why, than the white.
Victoria's now with us.
Hey, Victoria. So,
and Charlotte says she loves that cup. Yes, and
yeah,
then,
this is great.
Yeah. Dana said that Santa is like one of the largest she's ever poured.
Girl, I had to mix twice for that one.
Right.
Now, I saw Rima with Walls and More do a great tip for resin. So she had this little cup just like this, and she poured her resin out, right? She took a paper towel, and she shoved it down in that cup after she poured it. And then when it set up, she took and pulled her paper towel up.
Clean.
Brilliant. I was like, that's brilliant. That Rima, I give her all the credit. All right, so here's black and white. So let's talk about black and white. And why would you, I get the question all the time, Robin, why would I use black and white?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So here's my tip for you.
Phyllis, we'll come back to that in just a second. Well, or you can just do it now.
What?
She got some glass resin in her surprise box.
Yes.
And so what's the difference?
Did you get the?
She said, "I'm interested in the glass resin. Is it different from other resins?"
So the glass resin from Pent Art, the super glass resin,
yes,
is the same as epoxy resin. It's clear epoxy, which I'm going to talk about next. It's expensive. People like it, but to me, I use less resin because I get a lot more for my money, and it's the same look. But yes, definitely, if it came in your box, definitely use it. But you're going to mix equal parts, and if you have that snow globe mold, and I'll show you that, it's beautiful in the snow globe mold. Yeah. It is also beautiful, and I'm going to show you some elements with it, but it's the same as like a clear epoxy. It does take 24 hours to set. So what I do is I pour my epoxy, cover it, and then come back the next day. But okay, so on the black and white, so people ask me all the time, Robin, why would I do black? Well, if you're doing steampunky or if you're doing something that you're going to paint this a chocolate brown, or you're going to, paint this a darker color, use the dark. If you're just wanting to do this and then rub a little bit of your wax paste on it, so this is silver wax paste over black. You could do gold or anything. I didn't even have to paint this. Saves so much time. Hand me that right there, that girl.
Sure.
Yeah. This was this project on these moons and stuff. I knew I was going to paint them dark and then just go over them with the gold. So I did the dark resin, and then I painted it like I don't know, it's like a dark gray or something. And then I just hit it with gold. But if you have to cover white resin with dark paint, it's going to take you more paint to cover it. So you're going to want to do the black. And the black also, this is no paint. It's silver wax over black. That's it. So it's great for, if you're doing, like, this is beautiful. Victoria has a printable that is Victoria, what's the name of that printable? It's the one with the raccoon. I freaking love it. And it's got a black and white deer and stuff. That printable, I would just do black resin, hollies, and just put silver wax paste on it. It's beautiful. Now, if I was going to paint like this snow globe, if I did this snow globe in black, and then I wanted to decoupage something in the middle here, I would have to put white paint on this because you want white behind your decoupage paper. So I'd have to paint white in here. And it might work because maybe I just want to rub wax over here or do a darker color. So either way, whether I did black or white, I'm going to have to paint something, right? So if I do my decoupage and then paint this dark, it's no different. But let's say I was going to do a bunny rabbit scene for spring, right? And I'm going to paint this light blue and then wash it in maybe my antiquing gel white to give it that springy pastel-y colors. I would not want to do this in black because I'm going to spend a lot of time painting to cover black. So I would do white. I had a snow globe I did, but I can't find it.
Laura Hall is here from Scotland.
Hi, Laura.
Scotland.
So.
And Darlene is here from North Dakota.
So if you're going to paint, like this is going to be green, welcome in. like I'm gonna paint this green. I prefer to do it in white. I only do the black when I'm gonna do like waxes over it, or I'm going to do like this, a dark
That looks well.
base.
That looks great with that metallic that
Yes.
you got on there. Yeah.
Yes, and I did hit it with a little bit of black.
Mm-hmm.
And then did it was like a gray, like a charcoal gray. But that's the difference between black and white. Now let's talk about epoxy resin. So in my list I sent y'all that I posted, I gave you a link, and if you use my affiliate link, it does give me a little bit of commission on it, and I do appreciate that. But it's from Let's Resin.
It's okay, sweeties.
Or you can go to my affiliate for TH Decor and get that super glass resin. But see, I get these big ones and I can't remember the price. But these are 16 ounce, so it's 32 ounce total. And I use these. It's part A and part B. And just like the other, it is equal parts. The difference, equal parts. This I stir for 30 seconds. This is fast cast resin. Whether it's black or white, fast cast. This clear, go ahead, put your gloves on, put your eyewear on. You know, if you're sensitive, this one to me doesn't smell bad at all, but some people are super sensitive. Sometimes I go outside and I mix it out there. Or I have this mask that I bought right here. And I'll put that on.
And she looks beautiful in it too.
Like, it's not worth it, y'all. If you've got lung issues or breathing issues already, don't
take every precaution.
Don't be breathing chemicals. Even the I didn't cover the varnishes. I'll cover the varnishes in a minute. Even like the glossy varnish that's solvent based, this stinks to high heaven. Like, don't do it inside without protection and then have an asthma attack or something. You don't do it.
Lucille is from Nova Scotia, Canada.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so the epoxy resin, equal parts, gloves on. You should have gloves on with this too. I'm just saying, don't do what I do. But I have learned with this especially to put my gloves on and mix it 4 or 5 minutes. 4 to 5 minutes. Mix it.
Now, which one did you get in your eye?
This one.
Ah.
I have got this in my eye before. It's not fun. It caused an ulcer on my eye. Thank God I was able to call the doctor right then and go.
Your mom is here.
Hi, Mom. So part A and B, mix it up. So you're going to want, I don't know what you're doing, but I throw away the cups I use. So get yourself some little cups. Make sure you get the lines on them. I do go to the grocery store or Walmart, and they have these little white cups that are like for mouthwash cups.
Those cups.
Well, they're mouthwash cups.
Yes, yes.
And they've got lines on them. They're not measured. They're just lines.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They're just part of the, they made it look like a little cute cup. These are medicine cups. But I typically, like if I'm going to pour resin, let's say I'm going to do this.
I don't think so, Dana. I don't think this. Have you tried the Promise brand of epoxy resin?
I have not, but I should. I've heard about it. All right, let's just say this is 20 milliliters here. Oh, Lord, this ain't going to work. Hold on, y'all.
You got to get a...
Let me see if I can find a darker one. Here we go. This will work. I love this gold pen. Works great. So like I find my 20 and I'm like, okay, here's 20 right here. Here's 20 right here, okay? So then I have 20 and 20, right? So I pour A20, B20, and then I get one of those white medicine cups or a solo cup, or what the little mouthwash cups work great. And then I just pour this in, and I have my popsicle stick, and I scrape it out, and I toss this. Do the same with this. Scrape it out. You got lots of lead time with this. Stir, stir, sing a little song, stir.
What song do you sing?
I do all kinds of stuff. I'll have Andrew Duhon playing. Mix, mix, mix. 4 to 5 minutes. If it's a smaller amount like this, you could probably get away with 3 minutes, but I usually do 4.
Now, do you feel does it heat up? Do you feel the
No,
chemical reaction?
it does not.
Like the other one does.
It doesn't heat up.
Right.
These will heat up.
Those will heat up, right.
And by the time they start heating,
they're
you
ready.
better pour them in a big mold because you're almost too late.
And yes, Amazon does sell all of these cups. You can get silicone cups and Amazon's
and
great
I'll
about
post
that.
a link on my page. There's a kit that actually has this size.
Mm-hmm.
It has silicone stirrers, so you don't waste popsicle sticks.
Right.
It's got a bigger one too. So if I'm doing a big tray pour, I'm going to want the bigger cup for this. So that's now I don't use these silicone cups for my epoxy resin.
Nope.
I will use the bigger plastic cups with the lines on it, and I use the lines to measure. Let me get one to show you. I use those and I dump them in a solo cup. But if I have one, I bought the wrong dang cup. Oh, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Because I don't want to get epoxy resin out of my silicone cup.
No.
It might work, I don't know, but I don't do it. All right, so look, this is what I'm talking about. So if I'm pouring a lot of resin, I will, and on the inside I can see it too. And, you know, I might, just because I want to, I might draw a little line right there, you know, in my cup like that. See it? And then I pour my clear resin, my epoxy resin up to there, and I do 2 cups. And then I pour these in a solo cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got a good bit of resin. This one is like, this is a big one. So I use this a lot for like the Santa mold or whatever. I don't use it much.
Patricia, are you using the silicone cup for the for which one? For the epoxy or for the
It might work. I've been scared to do it.
Well, she said that it hardens and she can't get it out.
Yeah, see, no. That's why I don't do it. Because I don't want to mess with that. Anyway.
It's possible, I guess. I
accidentally bought these stupid cups.
That don't have any markings.
But these work great with the medicine cups. And then I just pour them into this cup. And then I stir in this cup.
Mm-hmm.
So that works fine. All right, so epoxy resin is not fast cast.
That's correct.
24 hours. You want to make sure your piece, like if I was going to epoxy this, I want to take a clean, like, makeup brush that maybe I don't use for anything else. And I want to dust anything off of here that's loose, like meow meow hair. I'll show you why in a minute.
Or your hair.
Or my hair.
Yeah.
There's a piece that somebody has out there that has a piece of my hair in it. And you want to get all the dust off. And then you want to pour your resin. And then you want to cover it. I have a, you can get those plastic tubs at Walmart. But make sure your tub's clean. Don't dump it on here when you got dust or something in it or cat hair. And then you just put it over the top of it so no dust gets in there, and you just let it sit overnight. Okay? But this clear resin, it's not just, okay, you can use it on trays. So I'm going to show y'all. So this tray right here, this is epoxy resin that I did last night, actually. Now it will run. I did not have a border at first, and see how it ran out right there? I'm going to paint that over so you're not going to be able to tell. I'm just going to put paint on top of it.
Oh, Patricia said a mosquito went in hers.
Right?
She said, if you know, you know.
Right.
Hey, Tina Allen.
I did end up having to put a mold on this, and this is that Borders mold from Decoupage Queen.
From the UK. She's from the UK, Tina Allen is. Thank you for being with us.
So this right here, I didn't dust it off because I was in a hurry, and right there is a piece of meow meow hair, right there. Whatever.
So Brenda Reagan uses baking trays to cover her stuff.
Yes, that's a great idea, baking tray. Unless, you know, like this, I could definitely put a baking tray over
Unless you
it.
got some leftover brownies in that baking tray, you know.
Yeah, you don't want the tray to touch it. So if it sits up high, like, yeah. So this is epoxy resin. Super shiny, super hard, great for coasters.
Wonderful
or
for
trays.
coasters. Wonderful for coasters.
Yes, and I just let this cure overnight. Now, I wouldn't like take and cure this overnight and then go set a bunch of heavy stuff on it. I would let this cure a few days before I did that. So that's that. And
yes, Dana, where I'm going to be putting this one right here. Oh, right, Linda. What is a leftover brownie? You're right. We don't have those either. But this is going to go up on our YouTube page right after this live.
So this one is not a tray, so I didn't have it contained. So I literally took and when I poured this one, I took something like this and I put it on there like this. And then, see, I set it on there so it sat up, and then I poured it. And you can even take a stick and move it. And then it ran over the edges, and I just took and with my gloved hand, and I went around there like that, but I did not tape the back.
That's a great tip. Go ahead.
So what happens is you get these bubbles. Now, I can sand those off. It's no big deal.
Yes.
But if I had taken painter's tape and went around this right here, all I had to do was pull off my painter's tape. But I didn't do that. The next day when it cured. Mm-hmm. So this is beautiful. You can use glass. And I don't think Rima's on, but Rima Walsamore, she can tell you where to get glass. I forget every single time. Something shattered.
Yes, that's right.
Anyway, that's where I get this. And you want the mirrored glass. It's so much prettier. Mm-hmm. But this clear epoxy resin is great for glass and resin. This is decoupage paper, just decoupage paper, a cheap wood thing from Amazon, a wood canvas. And then this. So pretty. Also, in your snow globe molds, this is one that we did with clear, and we reverse decoupaged on there and painted it. So this is what it looks like before, like this.
Can you talk for just a second about the snow globe mold, what they did to it?
Yeah, so I don't know if y'all remember, but the cloche mold, mm-hmm. when you pulled out clear resin from your cloche mold, it was cloudy.
Tina Surface, art shattered.
Art shattered.
Thank you so much, Tina.
That's it.
That's the one.
Get the mirrored one. Uh-huh. And it's not expensive. You get a whole ton of glass.
Kelly Cat said they have fire glass at Hobby Lobby.
Oh. I didn't know
art
that.
shattered is where you got that.
I got art. Yeah, yes. That's where I got it. Yeah. But this is, so what they did when they made the snow globe mold, I don't know how they did it, but some technology that they did, you don't have to do the clear on it anymore. It's clear.
Yeah, talk about that for just a second, because there are people that have the original snow globe molds.
The original cloche mold.
Cloche molds, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you told them to use a
clear varnish.
Clear varnish to clear it up.
Yes, it clears it right up.
Because it looks
cloudy.
Cloudy,
yeah.
Right. So
yeah, so these new ones are great.
Yeah.
But you can tell this is cloudy down here. See how this is cloudy down here? But whatever they did on this part, it's not cloudy anymore. And they said that when they presented these. This is, I could put a piece of paper and it would be just beautiful. Now, for the clear, this is great. Another fun thing you can do with clear epoxy, and I've got to finish this, is this was a very thick mold right here. I posted a link to them. But what I did was I mixed a little bit from my medicine cups, maybe, 20 and 20 or something. And I poured it in my mold. And then I let it set up overnight. And then I reversed decoupage this printable from Victoria. Here you can see it on this side. And this is a little bit cloudy because it's not that technology. So I reversed decoupaged on the back, on there, and then I did this side too. Okay. I reversed decoupage, then I dried that, and then I added snow paste, stickles, and whatnot. Okay. Then I mixed up a little bit, maybe 20 and 20 in my cup again, and then I poured it on there to cover up my snow paste. Then the next day, I took the elements from that snow globe mold, which you can get from Victoria, exclamation point, Lala. The same elements that are in that mold, this tree and this tree, I painted them and dry brushed them and whatnot, and I glued my trees in there. And then I put my squirrel, that little squirrel, I put him in there. Then I mixed up about 20 and 20 and I poured it again.
So this is not a one-day
I even
project.
added, so I did glittery down here. And then when I did the next layer, I did snow paste, so it looks 3D. I don't know if you can see that snow paste at the bottom looks 3D. Then I poured it again.
Carol, we're going to put this on our YouTube page as well.
Then I did my little deer and painted him, and then I glued him so he's more in the foreground than the squirrel. And then I poured the final top on this. Now this took days to do this, but how cute is it? I'm going to put a mold around here. And I probably am going to just do a paper on the back to cover that, because here's what I did. You don't want to do this with a epoxy-based resin. Can you see this right here? Can you see this bubble right here? Do you know why it has that bubble? Well, it could be that I didn't like shake it a little bit and get the bubble out, but I know why it has the bubble is I cleaned it with a baby wipe. And I didn't let it fully dry before I pour my resin in. So it's got a bubble right there. See it? Anyway, it bothers me. So I'm just going to put like a Christmas damask on the back. Then I'm going to do a mold. And then we're going to have this cute little paperweight or shelf sitter or whatever. And these are a village mold that Victoria had. And this is the snow globe. This is from the snow globe mold. All these. All right, so you can do fun things with epoxy resin, like layered looks. So you just have to be patient with it. No hair, no dust, keep everything clean. You got to mix, and if you're like me and you get a little arthritis in your thumbs. Another cool thing you can do, and I love doing this, like this is clear epoxy resin. And I did gold paint over it. And it gives it this translucent look on there. Like, let me do this one. So that's fun too. So, maybe I didn't want to do this in white, and it gives it like a really pretty translucent look. But it's got a little something, something, So we can do this on this one too. So I'm almost out of gold, y'all. So I could just do...
Is that one of your favorites?
Gold?
Yeah.
Yes. Gold is my favorite wax. So let's just do some gold on these trees.
Yeah, for your question, Patricia, yes. And Pamela McDonald said that's beautiful.
I wish I could find my... I'll show y'all something on the snow globe mold if I can find it real quick. So see... It just gives it it's still translucent, but it just gives it a little something, something. Now,
yes, Dana, that's exactly what she's saying. That water from the stuff from the baby wipe caused that bubble.
Yes, it did. I know it did too, and I knew it right when I saw it. Of course, it was days later because I had to pour like a bazillion. Let me see if I can find snow globe right quick. This isn't the snow globe one.
Brenda Reagan said, mine too, favorite. Gold, gold, gold everywhere.
Girl, me too, girl. Okay, here's the snow globe. I want to show y'all something. So, like if you're going to do the snow globe, what I would do is I would mix up my resin. Now, when you read on here, it says how much resin to use. That's to fill the whole mold. So mix up your resin, and you can do both at once. And you'll see on this mold right here, do you see this? There's a little lip right here, a little micro rim, kind of like right here. I would pour my resin 2 right there, right? I poured it 2 right there. I did one of these, and I don't know where it is. But
yeah, where you had the...
Yeah. I don't know what I did with it. But I don't want it to go to the outside yet. If it does a little bit, it's fine. But then I let it set up for an hour or two, like covered it up, let it set up. And then I took from this same mold, this is a great mold. I took my church right here and I gently laid it right there. So it laid on top of that resin like that. Okay. So
after about an hour.
After about an hour or so. So it was already setting up a little bit. And then I just left it overnight. Let it completely set up. Then I mixed more resin and then I poured it to cover it. And then when you take it out, your little village or your animals or whatever you put in there, you could even decoupage it. Like once it gets, you would have, if you're decoupaging, you're going to have to let it cure fully overnight, reverse decoupage, and then do your other layer. But honestly, if you're decoupaging, there's no use. You might as well just do the back side unless you just wanted it two-sided or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when you're using, you don't put anything in your molds when you're doing resin, right? Like you do with, like with clay, you put
want
something
it completely clean and dry.
Completely clean and dry.
Yeah, and the white and black are more forgiving than the clear. The clear is going to show every single thing.
That is correct.
But anyway, so there's a little tip for you if you haven't seen that done yet. But you can put all kinds of things. You can float all kinds of things and make these 3D, these snow globes. Mm-hmm. Before these came out, I had this mold. So it's the same idea. It's just, this is what I had. But now I got this beautiful snow globe mold.
So you said it was an hour or two after you poured it initially?
Yeah.
So it was still kind of tacky?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I laid this in here. So it just, you don't want it, you want to give it at least an hour or two. It's going to stay sticky for a while.
Yes.
So I wouldn't go more than 3 or 4 hours. But you just lay that right in there. Don't touch it. Just drop it right. Just drop it right in there. And then it's going to float right in that resin like so.
Thank you, Phyllis. She says she loves you for your dedication and your willingness to help share and teach.
Aww.
She's off to have lunch with her nephew.
Thank you, sweetie. So anyway, that's just different ways and why. So when people say, Robin, why would I use black over white over clear? Well, it depends on what do you want to do. What colors are you going to use? You're going to use dark colors, do black.
Mary Jane Quinn says you are a great teacher.
Thank you. You want to do light? Do
should
light.
It be upside down? Stephanie Gray asks. What do you mean? You mean the
yes? You're going to put like your village. This is the front of your village, and when you lay it in the resin, you're going to lay it face down. So the back of it's going to be towards you. Yes, so it'll be face down. This one's a tree line. It's super pretty. This one right here would be super pretty. It's just like trees. You could do, one cool thing about this one, you could let it set up for about an hour or so, and then you could take your little deer. I think it's a deer they have on here. They have a fox, a squirrel. A fox, a deer, a rabbit, and a squirrel. And then they even have clouds, and a cloud with a bird, and snowflakes, and stars. Y'all, you could take your deer and let it set up about an hour, and then you could drop, you're going to have to figure out about where, but you could put your deer in there and let him go down a little bit, and then you could take this tree line, and then you could put him on top of the deer, so the deer is kind of in front. You don't want to push it too hard in there. You want to let it kind of float itself, because if you push on it, you're going to push through the resin, and then when you pull it out, your deer is going to be poking out of your resin. But you just want to let it, because if it's not fully cured, it's kind of like quicksand. It's going to sink a little bit, but not go through. And you'll learn, it worked for me the first time. I let it sit about an hour and 15. Then I put, you could put your little deer in and then lay this. It would be
nice to see that. Wherever it is, we'll find it somewhere.
I know. If I find it, I'll show it to y'all. But it's super great. But it's just floating in there like a snow globe.
Are you close to
Yep.
well, your products? Do you have time?
Hold on.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell y'all about varnishes right quick.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, so my favorite varnishes and why. So favorite varnishes is always satin top coat. I have dead flat for all my little primitive rustic people. I have dead flat. I have flat. I have satin, gloss, semi-gloss. My favorite satin, regular, just for indoorsy projects. Extreme guard, if I'm doing something that's going to be in the kitchen or outside. If it's going to be outside or near water a lot, 2 to 3 coats of extreme guard.
Yes, you're right about the, excuse me just a second. One and done. Yeah, when you drop it, that's it.
Yes.
It's one and done then.
Yeah. And this is Sheer Bliss. This is a top coat with mica powder. It will settle, and you can't really tell, but your mica will settle because it's heavier. You always want to just stir this with a popsicle stick before you use it because all that mica settles. So Sheer Bliss is my favorite if I want a little shimmer to my project to use as a top coat. And then for my super glossy, over fine line or whatever, this is a solvent-based glossy varnish. I love the amber colored one. It dries clear, but the amber one is more shiny to me. I don't know why, but it does stink a little bit. So these are my favorite top coats. Go ahead.
All right, so we've been on here for a minute. Do you have time to take any questions or?
Oh yeah, ask me questions.
Yeah, is there anyone here that has any questions about? I know that it was pretty quick about all
y'all
of the.
Can watch the replay and I'll post.
And I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be posting this on our YouTube page right after it loads. It's going to take me probably about 30 minutes or so to get it all done, but I'll put it on our YouTube page as Robin's Favorites. And those of you that have not subscribed to our YouTube page, please do. We'll do that. But if anybody has anything that we may have shot by too quickly for you, then let us know right now. We'll take a few minutes to do that.
While Robin looks for the
or if you just guys want to go in and have your breakfast or lunch, that's fine too.
That's what we're going to do.
That's what we're about to do. So.
Yes. Any questions at all? Y'all can always message too if you think of questions later. Trying to find my snow globe, y'all, so I can show y'all.
Well, did you have it over here earlier?
No.
You didn't? Okay.
It's buried somewhere.
It is buried somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
What about mica powder in molds with resin?
You can totally do mica powder. I don't do it a lot just because I'm a very simple, like, Joanna Gaines kind of style girl. So I don't typically do it a lot. But yeah, you can dust. You can even dust the metal pigments. You can put them in your molds. And then when you pour it, I wouldn't do it in clear. Well, you could, but you're going to take the chance of it floating. Do you know what I'm saying? So like if you were trying to do it in this mold and you did the mica or the metal, and then you poured your clear, some of it might float up into your globe. But that might look cool.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, try it. What does it hurt to try?
Yeah. So Robbie got a 3D pen in her box. What do you suggest she uses it for?
Oh, that's a great liner. Just use it as a liner to line stuff or to add raised elements to things. I love the 3D pens. Mom, you can use a photograph in resin. Unlike water, like if you were to take a photograph and you were to put it in water, it's probably going to curl up and stuff. Mom, I don't think it will curl up, but what I might do, like if you were doing it in this, like if you were going to embed it in here or in here, maybe I would reverse decoupage. Like I would, if this was my mold and I was going to sandwich a picture in the middle, I would do a little bit of the decoupage medium and stick it down with that. Like, treat it like it's decoupage.
Once it's dry completely.
And then, yes, you'll let it dry, that first layer dry completely. And I would reverse decoupage it down because it's going to dry clear. It's not going to affect your picture.
Right. Pamela McDonald, I'm just going to tell you, take every precaution you can. For putting, if you're, you're saying you're have oxygen, you're on oxygen. Yes, absolutely. Wear something. But I mean, some people are not bothered by it, but other people are. I just always err on the side of caution on
And if you have
anything.
serious health issues, is it worth it? Do you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Like, is resin worth it? Like, just be careful if you have serious health issues. Some people it doesn't bother at all.
We are not doctors.
My friend Stephanie, I pour resin all day long. I don't have this single problem ever. I don't wear gloves half the time with the casting resin. I always do with epoxy. Stephanie will break out. She'll touch her face with a little like residue on her finger and it welts her up. She's just more sensitive to it than I am.
What's the difference between the metal pigment powders and the regular pigment? Do they need to be sealed differently?
Dana, I don't ever use shimmer glaze products. They're just not my thing. The metal pigments and the what kind of pigments?
Okay, metal pigment powders and the regular pigments, do they need to be sealed differently?
No, they're the same. One's just a metallic based metal, and then the other pigments are more translucent. Like a mica powder kind of thing is more translucent than a metal pigment to me. Like that's to me. Yes, Stephanie.
And yes, to Stephanie, that is you for sure.
Yeah, Dana, I'm with you. Like if I had COPD or emphysema, I would not mess with resin. I just wouldn't. It wouldn't be worth it. But if you're sensitive, you just have to make decisions for yourself and maybe even talk to your doctor about it, and what's on the label or whatever.
Thank you for sharing that, Charlotte. There's a great example right there.
Oh, yes, Charlotte. And you're right. I'll tell y'all one day, it wasn't this Less Resin brand. It was another brand that I had left over that I got on Amazon. And the Less Resin doesn't bother me as much, but I still should wear a mask. I should. But this other brand, I didn't. And I was stirring it and I was keeping it down here. But that night I had a sore throat and like a dry cough, and I didn't put it together. And then the next day I did more of that resin because I was actually using it on this. Same thing. So I started taking Sudafed, and then it hit me. It's that dang resin. Like my lungs are inflamed because I didn't wear my PPI.
Always in a well-ventilated area.
And so I started, for the
Linda.
rest of this project, I took it outside. Yeah. And I did it. I was like, I shouldn't have done it. Yeah, so you'll learn. Yeah, don't do it. It's not worth it. Great. Yes, either wear your readers or even better, I have this came as a kit, really. It had this and this respirator. And Teresa Renee told me about this. I can find this if y'all want. And this is the eyewear, but it came as a kit. So yes, I should wear that. Definitely wear it. I mean, your skin is your largest organ, right? It absorbs things. So really, you should be wearing gloves and stuff if you're working with any solvent-based anything. Do what I say, not what I do. Okay?
Okay, well.
All right, guys. If you think of questions, let us know. We've posted the list. Ron will upload this to YouTube. I hope it was very helpful for you guys. My favorites might not be your favorites. If you have a different color palette or something than me, like you like more blues than I like or whatever, message me. I'll tell you like which ones I think are great. I'll help you put together a bundle if I can.
A Breaking Bad kit. Yes, we
right. Yeah, I feel like when I put it all on like I'm supposed to, but it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, we're not mixing meth in this thing, no.
No. Yeah, people might think, you imagine the cops pull up and I got all that on. They're like, what the heck?
Yeah, they start looking in the bathtub for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm mixing some resin. I'm trying to get me a snow globe going here, right? Snow globes. Anyway, y'all, Victoria does have a sale on molds right now. And like I said, get you a Borders mold, get you a classic Elements. That Victoriana mold is gorgeous. That is probably my new favorite. All of them are like the lowest price that you will find on IOD now.
Good idea, Stephanie. That's a great idea.
Yeah. All right. If I can help y'all in any way, message me. I hope this was helpful. If you're just starting out crafting and you're so confused on what to buy, if you need me to narrow it down further for you, let me know and I can help you.
So you're going to be gone next week.
Yeah. So next Tuesday I won't be on because I'll be at a retreat. I may go live and show y'all some things or post pictures from the retreat. But I'll be at a retreat. I'll be back Thursday. So I will be at a retreat tomorrow night through Wednesday night. I'm actually leaving the retreat probably at 9 o'clock at night and driving home. Just so I can be in my own bed that night because I have to work Thursday. Otherwise, I got to get up at the crack of dawn and drive home. I'd rather drive home at 9 o'clock at night than 5 a.m. So,
Stephanie Gray, just buy everything. Yes, that we actually recommend that too.
Yeah.
I can do the live.
And if you want to just buy one of every color Paint Couture has of everything, message me and I will hook you up on a bundle. Okay. If you're like, just give me one of every color, Robin. Whether you want 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce, I could probably hook you up on a bundle. So save you a little bit of money.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure that would happen.
Yeah, Ronnie can do it. Yes, Brenda. Maybe he could do some.
And Linda Baker, you are right. It's tough enough for her to drive during the day, much less at night. But you know,
Linda, I know the way though. It's straight. It's a 4-lane highway that's straight. But there is a lot of deer out right now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So Ron almost hit a deer the other day.
I did. He came within an eyelash.
Exactly, Liz. They're saying you could do book folding.
Book folding.
I'll work on him, y'all. If he'll post an event if he's going to do a live. He totally should do book folding for y'all, though. I'm going to work on him. I'm going to take him, get him some oysters or something today and see what I can do.
And Stephanie Davis says she'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, Stephanie. Yay. I'm so excited. All right, you guys. Talk to you soon. Have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday and take care. Bye, y'all.